Guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. Ich bin Herr Professor Stefan Huang aus Taiwan. Ich bin Professor an National Taipei Handelsuniversität, einer Schwesteruniversität von Aschaffenburg Universität. Ja, es freut mich sehr, dass ich heute hier mit Ihnen unsere Erfahrungen mit Covid-19 euch zu teilen. Ja, so später spreche ich auf Englisch und für diese ganze kleine Unterricht. Yeah, let's start with this program. Doing business in Taiwan, Taiwan's proactive management during the pandemic times. Yeah. For this short introduction, I would focus on two topics. The first is the basic thing you need to know for doing business in Taiwan, and then Taiwan's proactive management during the COVID-19 pandemic time. And then I can introduce you also some exchange possibilities that NTUB can provide you, and also the internship in Taiwan. So let's start with some basic things you need to know for doing business in Taiwan. Firstly, Taiwan is a very competitive economy that measured and awarded by several international organizations as a very competitive and very innovative places. Yeah, just within the top 10 of the world. And then how is our economy? Our GDP ranking for this year 2021 is already 32,000 per capita. And if we measured in PPP, that it would be almost 60,000. That already surpass a lot of developed countries. And for last year, even though there was a pandemic strike or impact, it doesn't create much problem for us, for our economy, because last year our economy growth was 3.11, and the project this year could be 5%. That was a real something that we can share with you how to deal with COVID-19 while our economy still grows. And the outlook for Taiwan this year is very strong, because in this much we have the export of this much has exceeded 1 trillion, which means it's 35.2 billion, and it's also the best record ever. So it means we're still growing very strongly. And if you are going to do business in Taiwan, there are three different types that you can choose. The ordinary and the classic three types. Yeah, it's a subsidiary, branch office, and representative office. And representative, if we call it exactly, it should not be deemed as a way of doing business, because it cannot do business. Yeah, a representative office is not allowed to do business, to sign contract. So it's just a place of liaison. Yeah, for a place for communication, for foreign company to explore the business opportunity in Taiwan. And as for the branch office and the subsidiary company, yeah, they are almost the same. They are only different in two ways. Firstly, the legal identity. Its legal entity. A subsidiary company is a legal independent entity in Taiwan, in contrast of the branch office. A branch office is only extended part of the foreign headquarters. I believe everybody understood that. And for the right and obligation. The branch office is consolidated to the foreign headquarters. In comparison, the subsidiary company, its liability is limited by the parent company. Yeah, so that makes a lot of difference. But for the taxation, that is the same. Only one part. The branch company is an extended part consolidated with the HQ foreign headquarters. So in this reason, the withholding tax of the withdrawing the capitals is not applicable. And also, if you are interested in investment in Taiwan, you can choose to invest in securities. And there's only one limitation. If you want to invest in some listed company for over the shareholding of 10%, a prior approval should be obtained. And if you want to invest in real estate in Taiwan, there is reciprocal principles. Reciprocal principles means if the German government allows a Taiwanese to buy real estate in Germany, then our government will do the same. So for right now, I believe Taiwanese and German can buy lands and pieces in other countries. But to be remembered, there is anti-speculation legislation has been passed just 2 weeks ago and valid from July of this year. That will levy a high income tax for the foreign persons and business for their speculations in Taiwan, land speculations in Taiwan. And it will be about 45 and 35 percent. That is really a high progressive rate. And if you set up a company, establish a company in Taiwan, and you may apply for a work permit, or hired by a Taiwanese company, you may apply a work permit. If you set up a company, a subsidiary company, or a foreign branch in Taiwan, the first manager hired could be easily granted with a work permit. And if you have a work permit, then you can file for ARC, Alien Resident Certificate. And if with ARC, you can further apply this one, National Health Insurance Programs. That means you already been in this health insurance, you already be deemed as a resident and nationals. So you can pay the insurance fee for about 35 euros per month, and you will get yourself insured and have basic health care. And this basic could satisfy almost 95 or 98% of what you need, basically. So that is someone has been has said that this health insurance program is the best thing of the world, the best health program, national health program, and the cheapest, the most cheap in the world. And Taiwan is a democratic and rule of law state. Last year we have re-elected our female president, and Taiwan is open for LGBT right and acknowledge same-sex marriages several years ago. So that means we are an open cultural society and democratic society. And Taiwan is determined to defend ourselves against the Chinese threat. I believe everybody knows that the China is not very friendly to Taiwan, even we can call it hostile. So we want to remain independent and resilient. And we express that we have a strong will to defend ourselves and to work with allies to keep economy and trade peacefully. Yeah, and then let's talk about the pandemic. Yeah, firstly we look into the numbers. As we know, the global situation is not very positive still right now, although we have already seen the hope after a large vaccination program has been implemented. But right now, the deaths are already past 3 million. Recorded deaths. There are a lot of black numbers. And globally, there are almost 140 million people has been infected. And but compared with Taiwan, we till last week we have only confirmed infection for just over 1,011 days. Yeah, and that is compared with we have a 23 million populations. That is slightly a very small number, a tiny number we can call it. And the COVID trend, we are step in for Taiwan. The green part is Taiwan. It has been stabilized, really stabilized here. Almost last year right now, and maybe just in the December just slightly raised up, and we can say almost 95% of our infection cases are imported. It means the foreigners or our foreign resident come back to Taiwan and have been tested positive. So we call it imported cases. So local cases is not so many as the other countries. And let's talk about our proactive management. Yeah, first I have to focus or emphasize here at early stage. So from our early stage, we still we already made an important decision. First decisive day, it was 2019, December 31st, the last day of 2019. It began with a health official just noticed online information, online message that there was 7 cases of atypical pneumonia in Wuhan. So it is already something we have to be very careful. And that health official reported this message to our health our health ministry. And then we made a very quick decision that from the second day on, the border control should be strengthened. Yeah, especially for the flight from Wuhan. Yeah, and then in the January, in the next January, yeah, here I have to mark one place. At January 23rd, the Wuhan was locked down. So just before the lockdown, we already know something must be wrong, because from before lockdown for 10 days here, we already know something is not right, because the China is covering something. the China was covering something, and we have a long experience dealing with Chinese. When the Chinese official says everything all right, there's no problem, then we have to be extra carefully, because sometimes they probably covering something. So we already doing the stockpiling of PPE, personal protective equipment. So before one day before the Wuhan lockdown, we already prepared some face masks, because face masks is very effective for the pneumonia or some SARS-like disease. So that what we learned from the SARS experience in 2003 and 2004. So we know face mask will be vital for our campaign, our fight against the COVID-19. So we just restricted the sale, and the government control the sale and purchase of face masks. So this decision has been made already, January 22, and just at that time when one just claimed the lockdown. And then we banned the export of medical grade, the N95. That is very important, because the Chinese at that time, they have already issued orders to all their foreign companies and foreign residents to ask them buy face mask as many as possible. So we have to control, the Taiwan have to control the ban export of N95 or of face mask, and we can secure our own stockpile of the mask. And then we create a delivery, official delivery system that's through the licensed medical distributors, and everybody can use app to buy face mask, to register and pay and vote. So initially, at the initial stage, we can buy a face mask with the app for everyone for 3 pieces per week, and then 5 pieces per week. So that what we have done for this official delivery system. And then at the end of January, we can we also banned that the travelers could only carry a maximum 250 face masks, and also we build up our national production system for face mask. And then at the end of January, the daily production is already reached 4 million pieces. And then after 2 months, we can satisfy our own need, and then we just deliver some face mask to our friends, international friends like Germany, like Czechoslovakia, and so on. And that is the early stage, just for the breakout, 2 months after the breakout, what we have done as proactive management. And then what at the beginning of this year, 2021, there was a cluster infection. And that cluster infection was really a very bad start. And it was taking place in Taiwan International Airport Hospital. And it was started with the case of 812, and this one, and then we just do the trace back, and we traced everyone contacted. So we just drew this trace, and everything has been under control within 1 month, because we have very good trace back system. And for this crisis management, we just quickly announced at the beginning of this year, quickly announced that there have been a strengthened prevention control on that hospital, and then we do the home isolation measures, and we suspend the visitation, of the hospital, and then after 2 weeks we just clean out everything and loosen the and declare the crisis is over. So it's my personal observation for this period that Taiwan authorities and people has very well learned from the painful experience, SARS experience in 2003 and 2004. And what we learned, we can summarize in 4 points. Firstly, never trust the information released by untransparent dictatorship state like China. They never tell you the truth. They only they always release disinformation. They want to weaken you and they can control you. So that's always this 30 years our communication, our contact with them always run in this in this way. So we are very careful with them. And then never bet all your chips on international organization, because WHO was not very helpful in SARS 2003 and 2004 as well as right now. We are denied to take part in the WHO even as an observer. We have been denied. Actually, the Germany doesn't help much on that. And wearing mask really helps. And also, the most Taiwanese treated COVID-19 as a SARS-like epidemic. So everybody, almost everybody demonstrated high discipline in enforcing in implementing the control measures. So we really wear the mask and have a location control. As the government has been required us to do, and we just self-disciplinedly just close down the public event. And but most important of all, we hold a key moment. The moment was there are 2 moments. Firstly, we noticed the problem at the very first beginning, and then at the Wuhan lockdown, we already have an early control of the border, and we limit the flight to Taiwan from Wuhan. That create much more convenience for our better management later on, and be very aware of that. One day before the Wuhan lockdown has been issued, they just left 24 hours for Wuhan people to flee out of Wuhan. So so in that short period, 5 million people has been fled from Wuhan to the other place of China as well as the other place of road. So that is the first wave of infection. And thanks to early border control and less local infections, Taiwan could have effective quarantine and infection traceback. That impact to economy was that minimized. Okay.